Good day and welcome. This is Small Biz David, and welcome to our regular Dreaming with Entrepreneurs in Google Plus Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon community meeting. And I have had all kinds of Google Plus issues today, so that's why we're getting started a little bit late. But better late than never, right, guys?
Yeah.
So I'd like to introduce the folks, the community members who are going to participate in today's discussions. We've got some really interesting things, some brand new things that are happening in the very near future that we'll be talking about. So as I am looking at my lower third from left to right, pointing to Jessica Duell.
My must do because there's loads here.
Where's that extra sound coming from? There we go. I guess if why doesn't everybody mute themselves? Because we're getting some extraneous sounds. There we go. Okay, Jess.
All right, good morning. Oh, hi, good day, because I know everybody that's watching, right? It's always morning where I'm at, I guess. I have my cup of tea.
Is there a special brew today, or tell us what the brew is?
It's called Love.
Love?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, Nora introduced me to this type of tea, and I have to tell you, this brand, I don't know how to say the name. I'll show you the tag again. They have a great amount of teas, and they're all yummy and delicious, and this is a perfect one to start the day.
And what's the magic potion that you put in on top of it?
On this one, there's nothing extra. Butter and love don't go together.
Well, I meant something like you always have like a honey thing. Well, honey would be a perfect thing to put in love, wouldn't it?
That's true. Honey and love would go very well together, yes. But it needs to be a little stronger and have some sort of... This is a caffeine-free tea this morning. So if there's caffeine in it, definitely some butter and coconut oil. So I am breaking the mold this morning.
There was a story going around Cincinnati last week, and they were putting butter and something else in coffee, and people were getting crazy, like, why would you want to do that to coffee? Okay, we'll move to the Washington, D.C. area and say good morning to Nora Whalen.
Good morning, everyone.
And what's exciting, tell us what exciting has happened in your week this week, and if you don't hit what I'm thinking about, I will hit it. So what's happened exciting this week?
Oh my gosh, there's been so much, but I think you're referring to the launch of the You've Got This online summit that's happening next weekend.
No, well, we're going to talk about that. That's a collaborative effort between you and Jess, but you did something new this week, and you got a lot of, I was seeing some feedback response you were getting to it, so that was pretty neat.
You're talking about my new profile photo, I'm assuming.
Yeah, let me see the pose that you did again. Let me see it. It was high pose with a big smile.
Yep.
There you go. There you go. That was brilliant. It was a great one. Great one.
Thank you.
Okay, and then we're moving to someplace in the Honduras, and God knows what time it is there, because I'm very confused what time it is there. But Preston, good morning to you.
Good morning.
What's going on in the Honduras?
Well, it's hot as usual. Here's my cup of tea. It's a big water jug with a lot of ice.
And speaking about profile pictures, you changed your profile picture this week.
I did, and I did it on all social media channels too, so it was fun.
There you go, but you, I question your use of a necktie, Preston.
That was my more professional look.
There you go. The more a step up in the image that you want to project in your brand.
And today is not a good day today. I couldn't find my razor either, so I'm not doing so good with brand today.
There you go. Well, and then our final panel guest today is in the UK, where it is probably about 3:30 in the afternoon. Is that right,
Yes.
Vivek?
Yes, it is.
What we're going to talk a little bit about what exciting is happening in your life, and it actually is happening in the world of HOAs. Okay, so we're back to the collaborative team, the infusionprinciple.com, and Jess and Nora have some, well, it's not news anymore because they are actively marketing a new idea of theirs. And why don't you share that idea with us?
How about
You've got this.
I what?
Yeah, exactly right.
That is the idea.
How about I pull up the graphic for you while you talk?
I think that sounds good. So, David, you'll probably need to box Nora once she's got that up. We are taking the fact that everybody knows a lot of information and everybody has all this information, and it's just kind of bumping around between our ears, possibly overwhelming us. Maybe we've tried some of it and it's not really working the way that we thought. So what we decided to do was we decided to take a step back and get out of those details and bring 15 speakers together to really help us center ourselves, put ourselves first, and start thinking about each area of business at a high level so that we can remove some of our obstacles and let the information that we have start filtering down and allow us to rearrange what we're doing to have better results and feel better about what we're doing and be more confident in the actions we're taking.
So you want to share with us your lineup there? They're smaller pictures, and I recognize some of them real easily. The other ones I'm having a little difficult time with.
Yeah, so Saturday we have Deborah Oakland, Tracy Baker, Melissa Galt, and Mary Kravitz. On Sunday we have Copeland Richards, Elena, and I'm not going to say her last name because I will mispronounce it, and Nora Richardson. On Monday we have David Amerland, we have Cynthia Bazin, Stephanie Sims, and Mally Toth. And then on Tuesday we have Ken Menacee Sr., we have Denise Buchan, we have Meredith Powell, and we have Diana Smith. Some you know, some you don't know, because not all of them are on Google+, and we consciously did that because business owners are everywhere. People that are building their idea and their businesses are everywhere. And when we tell people a big commonality across everybody says, go where your customers are. And so we want to make sure that if somebody's not on Google+, that they have the opportunity to learn and connect with these amazing people that we know and love on Google+. Just like the people that are on Facebook can learn about Google+, but people on Google+ can learn about some people on Facebook as well. Or Twitter, or Instagram, or wherever.
I've got a big smile on my face because I see 2 people on your list of 15 that I did HOAs with this week. How cool is that?
Which 2?
Well, on Tuesday, Ken hosted an HOA that I participated in. And
cheers to Ken.
We talked about 15 characteristics of entrepreneurs. It's kind of like I had done an HOA on it, he had done an HOA on it, Guy Kawasaki commented on this magazine article from Entrepreneur Magazine. So as soon as I saw all of this, I contacted Ken, also a member of our community, and I said, Ken, why don't we just kind of do a wrap of it? It seems like this particular article is really grabbing a lot of attention. And so he and I did a real fun, and actually Phil Boyer participated. I didn't even know he was participating. He did too. So we had a really interesting discussion. And then on Thursday, I did one of the most wonderful HOAs I did I've ever done, and with David Amerland. And about 3 weeks ago, he had posted an article, a blog that he had written, 10 questions that every business should ask themselves. And the tone of the discussion was really interesting because, as we know, David consults with some of the largest corporations in the world talking about these 10 questions. And my whole thing is small businesses, and I ask the same kinds of questions in a different way, a little different, basic key words, but asking the questions a little bit differently. So we just had a wonderful. Now, Vivek, I don't know if you were listening to that conversation, but I made a commitment that I was going to timestamp that conversation, and I've never done a timestamp before. And you and I have discussed that it's a very tedious manual process, which that's okay. But I challenged you to come up with an application. Got that application ready yet?
Not yet, not yet.
Okay, keep working. Okay, so back to Jess and Nora. Okay, I had a couple questions. Let's say, well, your price of $57 is just incredible for the amount of information somebody is going to get. It won't take any small business too long to get a return on a $57 investment. So your pricing was wonderful. But let's say that I buy it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say that I can't attend all the sessions. Are the sessions going to be available to me if I can't make them up? Because you're taking up 4 days, and that's a lot of time. And so how are you going to work that out?
For the $57, we do have the 4 days. You can join us live, or you can catch any replays up until August 21st. On August 22nd, everything will be behind the closed doors again, and we will be repackaging that information and presenting it in another way in the future.
For sale. You're going to do podcasting.
Something.
No, I was thinking about that this morning as an entrepreneurial marketing and sales idea that well, I'm sure you're going to, well, you are going to record them, they're there, so how you're going to take it and repurpose it, repackage it, but it's going to be the amount of information available. Well, we know it's going to be over 15 hours of information.
Yes.
Probably closer to 20 hours, and what a wonderful bit of information. And why I'm bringing this up, you are demonstrating very clearly the power of the tool that we use. That you've got the opportunity to do live and get your live interactions going, but then the challenge for the individual who is producing and marketing is how to repurpose that content in the best fashion. And when you can repurpose it and generate revenue, that's the best thing going, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And that's actually something, that we feel really strongly about. We also understand, and what Nora and I went into this knowing is that we are not all-knowing, that we surround ourselves with a team, that we look to our community and our networks to support us, to expand us, to challenge us, and we are doing the same thing. So at this summit, I know I will be learning and growing and getting new ideas just like every single person that's attending. So it is an honor for me to have 15 people to talk to interview with Nora, to learn from the questions of our audience and see where those conversations take us.
And what wonderful principle that is the foundation of everything that we do in this community. What is that principle that you are sharing, that you are exemplifying?
Oh man, you're gonna ask me to fill in the blank. I'm probably. Do you know, Nora? Because I'll probably get it wrong.
I'm just saying that living the You've Got This manifesto.
Oh yes.
My version.
And I was gonna say, put yourself first, and always reach out for more knowledge.
Both of those are great answers, and I'm going to say small business collaboration.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
How could I have forgotten the C word? Oh wait, that's not Carter. That's collaboration.
Well, it could be Carter too. How is Carter, by the way? Is Carter around today?
I think I just heard little feet running around upstairs. It's just about the time he would normally wake up. So if he pops in, great. If not, another day. It is only 7:47 in the morning here on a Saturday.
Guess who popped into the conversation I was having with David Amerlin for the first time? Maybe, I don't know if it's the first time on air. Nike came into the HO.
How fun.
How sweet.
that beautiful cat that we all hear about or read about. Nike came in and said, "Hey, man, I want to show my face in this HOA."
That's awesome. What a great addition. Oh yeah.
It was, yes, it was. Okay, any things that you would like to say to bring the folks? Make sure you post in the event page how to get into the. You're calling it. Are you calling it? Are you using the word summit? Summit.
We are. The online summit, yes. The You've Got This online summit.
And the link is already in the community.
Cool.
Oh, well, you better make sure when you put it there, you put my affiliate link in.
I did.
You go, girl! That's how you monetize an HOA. You put in an affiliate link. Hey, there's a hint for the day. Okay. Well, thank you, ladies. And I know you're creating a lot of buzz. And hopefully that buzz converts to folks actually interacting and engaging in the HOAs. But I will be able to spend only limited amount of lifetime because this is the last HOA that I am doing in this studio.
Wow. Okay.
The next community meeting that we have will be in a new location. So unfortunately, I have to spend next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday moving to that new location. But
well, you'll have a good time, and moving is really hard, so I wish you the best with that. And know we're sending you our energy, even though we can't be there in person to help you carry boxes.
Since we're talking about collaboration, why don't you guys all head over to Cincinnati and we'll have a big party. We'll have a in real life party, and we'll move boxes, and we'll make it an HOA. We'll do an HOA of moving. How about that?
I have a prior commitment that weekend.
I do too. But you know what you could do if all this sums up, you could just stream us live in the cars and in each location so that everybody can get the information and talk while they're moving your boxes.
There you go. Cool. Great idea. Thank you for that idea, Jess.
Hey, Vivek and Preston, do you guys have any questions, or is there something that you would have liked to know that we haven't talked about that we can make sure and share so that if you've got those questions, we're also answering them for other viewers as well?
No, not right now. It looks pretty clear to me, so you did a good job at gathering all these experts.
Great. Thank you.
One question I would have is, what's the target market? Is it national? Is it international?
It's international.
Yeah, international. Small business owners, senior managers of teams, or mid-level managers of teams that are looking to improve themselves, expand their thinking, grow their teams, and bring in new ideas of how to think or creative sparks so that they can develop their individual businesses and their individual objectives to get to the goals that they have set.
An interesting challenge, Jess, that you would have would be those folks that are not G+ers and want to get involved, and how do they get involved?
Oh, we got that covered, dude. We're starting with YouTube Live because we want to be platform agnostic, and we have
platform agnostic. I love.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Please put that in the event stream. Please put that in the event stream.
We are platform agnostic.
Oh my goodness. Actually, I'm going to make sure that David Amerlin sees that. I'm sure he'll have an interesting comment to make about platform agnostic.
Well, we use the tools that are available to us, and we want to get the people where they're at because it is collaboration is important, and part of that is if we don't have the time or the resources to actually have a presence on a platform, how do we participate in something we know we can learn from on that platform? Because then we just look like we're not doing anything. So it's a weird mix that Nora and I are navigating to try and really support people in the places that they're at and meeting them where they are instead of asking them to come meet us where we are.
Well, and the great thing is you're going to repurpose all that content in some fashion. So even if they can't connect then you've got something that you'll be able to sell forever.
That's true. Well, and it's also the launch of our membership program called Your Advisory Board, and so there will be more information about that each day on the It's Your Business show that starts the summit. And I know that it's exciting for me because it takes what we're doing at the summit all in one 4-day period and extends it forever.
Have you missed any of the bases? It doesn't sound like you have.
Nope.
We tried not to.
That's
You
right.
never know.
You never know.
Well, you never know, and you know what? Along the way, you're going to find some new folks are going to throw some new ideas at you, just like you said, and
Which we can't wait for.
Why don't you share for what period of time have you actually been planning this whole event?
Probably since March would be my guess.
Yeah.
So that's March, April,
So,
May,
6
July.
months?
6 months. 6 months.
Yep.
Well, and I think too. There's a couple other big summits being promoted right now. One that's been around for a long time, maybe the grandfather of all summits, and I know someday your summit on a yearly basis will be as large as theirs is.
We are glad, and we hope both our online summit and our in-person conference achieve that status.
You know what? I got a little confused. Why don't you talk a moment about that in-person? That's in San Diego.
It's in San Diego, yeah. So in February, we're going to bring a whole bunch of speakers and create an environment so that anybody who would like to come and join us can come and listen and learn and expand. And we're doing it in person instead of online because there is an awesome amount of information that we get and we absorb from reading or just perusing wherever we learn from. Then there's the level of engagement that we get by watching things like Hangouts or YouTube channels or other videos. And there's a different level once you get into the conversation. So being actually in this space, where we're the ones on air having the conversation, that takes it a little bit deeper. And we know that not everybody that's going to be watching the summit will get to participate in this level. And so we want to give the opportunity to bring people together to share those ideas more than in a comment stream over a 2-day period to really be able to solidify what they're trying to do, have that personal connection that much deeper rooted in everything, to just know that we're not alone out there, that we're all working towards the same things and creating the depth that we would like in the people that we want in our lives that are on the similar journey to us.
What was your thought process in picking San Diego as your city?
Because we didn't want to be on the East Coast in February.
We didn't want to be in Seattle in February. We needed to go someplace sunny and warm.
And
Well, you could pick San Diego and be sunny and warm pretty much any time of the year.
Well, we don't want to be too hot there either. There's that.
Well, San Diego, I think their average temperature is 78 degrees, and so it's the most temperate climate in the United States. So good choice of. And I had wondered if where people are located had anything to do with it, but you're going offline. You're coming offline, so there's a different thought process as to where you're going to do it. But your choice of.
Well, and the timing was specific. Do you care if I share that, Nora?
no, absolutely, go for it.
Our timing was very specific, right? Everybody thinks the last quarter of the year, we're building up to January. We get to whether we do New Year's resolutions or business planning, and we launch all of our stuff in January. By the time February comes around, the holiday excitement has passed. The excitement of what we were doing in the beginning of January has passed, and that's really when we need a little bit of a pick-me-up. It also, there's probably a reason it's the shortest month, considering the cold, the rain, some of the other stuff, at least in this northern hemisphere of where we're at. And so having that shorter month moves us and propels us more into the spring. That's my personal opinion. I have no idea if there's any fact based in that.
Well, you brought up another business concept that I'd like to touch upon, and I don't know that February has anything to do with it, but I start talking about evaluating what you did in the in the current year. I start talking about that about 100 days before the end of the year.
Yeah.
Because people, I don't know too many small business folks that on January 1 are racing out of the chute. I don't know too many. And so people need to evaluate what they've done in this current year and then set the plan in motion in the last quarter, and it's not too soon to do it 100 days out from the end of the year, and then so that on January 1, boom, in February, what's your date in February, mid-February? Or?
Yep, it's the 19th. It starts on the 19th.
So that is actually almost in the center, the smack center of the first quarter, so things ought to be in very, very high gear by that time in February. But it's a good point, Jess, in terms of business, that we just don't take enough time to evaluate what we've done in our business, what's worked, what hasn't worked, and what do we need to do to change, what changes do we need to make to move forward. Vivek, did you hear the word change?
Yeah, and I want to hear from Preston and Vivek too, so I appreciate all of the time that we've got, and I can't wait to hear.
Was a great segue to talk with Vivek, because his topic of conversation on Monday is about change. So Vivek, tell us what your thought process was in actually starting your HOA series and how it's progressed every week. And I am very appreciative, and I thank you for the fact of allowing me to be a part of your weekly growth and development of your program.
There's one of the things I found was Prince 2 as such is for project management, and so there are quite a few YouTube videos, and the problem I see with almost all of them is they talk about the concept from beginning till end. How you apply them, or where you apply them, or even why you want to apply them is not talked about at all. So in that sense, I found that's a gap in the market, if you want to call it that. But of course, there is. I do have one major problem, which you are well aware of. I'm an engineer.
Is that a problem, Vivek?
I don't know. For marketing, it can be a problem, because I mean, in the last episode, for example, I mentioned too much honesty can be disastrous. So that's where an engineer would fail.
Well, it's a great concept, because we deal the technology that we're dealing in right now. Google they're engineers, they're development folks, they're engineers. We all know that there's a lot of things they could be doing in the world of marketing to make our lives easier than it is, but they're engineers. And we need engineers, and we need marketing folks. We need them both.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, I'm seeking help from people like you and others, and I understand the need for collaboration. I understand the need for the first step in solving a problem is acknowledging that there is a problem. If you think that there's no problem at all, then.
Well, and we all face challenges, Vivek, and that's one of the things where I actually don't think that you being an engineer is a problem. I think that there is an opportunity for you to, in your messaging, which you already do, to be short, which is a benefit, to be concise, which is a benefit. There is sometimes, and I would say possibly the one challenge, and Nora may have something to add to this, but the one challenge is how do we invoke the emotion? So when we are short and we are concise, and it doesn't matter if we're marketers or salespeople or engineers at that point, when we're short and we're concise, it's hard to put in some emotion and to have that piece of it come through well. And so even marketers have to work at that. So don't sell yourself short on that front.
Yeah, I appreciate what you're saying. Yes, I agree with you.
Okay, so give us a highlight, Vivek, about change and what the general topic, what the discussion is actually. Because you and I, well, first of all, people need to go see the trailer that you and I did about it. But that would be a place to start. And make sure you put a link to the trailer in the event page. But you and I talked about in the trailer that change is the most difficult thing that anybody has to do.
Yeah.
Because we're changing a behavior, and human beings, don't change behaviors very easily. It's always a big challenge. But when you put it on top of business, the small business owner has a huge advantage when it comes to change, because we can make change in the next 90 seconds. If we don't like the way something is happening in our business, we go out, we send a new message, and we don't go through layers of bureaucracy to make that happen. So that's really change for the small business owner is a fantastic thing to deal with, because you can do it instantly, and you can look at folks like and turn to Jess and Nora to tell you when you need a change.
I agree with you there, but I also agree with what the other David said the other day.
The other day, no, David number one. What David number one said, not the other day.
David Emerland. He said, "It's easy for small businesses to change, but the change has to be for a specific reason. Change, you can't just. I'm probably not going to be able to quote his exact words, but he said that you can't be blowing hot today and cold tomorrow. You do need certain consistency or some logic behind why you do the change."
Let's hear a statement of change from Nora, because you talk to your folks, your clients all the time about it. How do you position change? How do you deal with change? How do your clients react to change?
I think it really depends on what that change is. Some things are super easy. You realize what you want and you just go after it. And other challenges, other things are more challenging. Creating an exercise routine is a challenge for most people. So anything is doable, as possible. It's knowing what your intent is, why you're doing what you're doing, why the change is occurring, and whether you're bought into that process.
Did you see the smile on my face when you used the word exercise, Nora?
I did.
Well, and I teach 6 exercise classes a week, and you are absolutely right. But it's not, with me, it's not just about exercise. I want to engage in some conversation when appropriate. I mean, we're there to exercise, but I had 2 folks. I did an exercise class this morning, and we actually were talking about change and change in our exercising, and how do we do it, and why do we do it, and should we do it, and it was a very engaging discussion this morning in an exercise class.
That's wonderful.
Yes. Well, exercise, when you talk about all the different things options that we have in our life, exercise is one of the roughest ones for people to commit to dedicate themselves to. We all know it's the right thing to do, but for whatever the reason, and I find as I watch people exercise, particularly those who are doing not in a class, but they're doing it, on a treadmill or whatever, an elliptical machine. A lot of folks are reading. A lot of folks are listening. So it's not just about the process of working the body and exercising the body. They're also exercising their mind, obviously, if they're reading while they're exercising or listening to a motivational tape or whatever. So change is good. Change is difficult. Change is necessary. But to Vivek's point, what David said, that it has to be changed with a purpose, not just. There has to be a strategy. There has to be a strategy behind that change.
And
Okay.
also you need to manage the change. You can't just change. You do need to manage. And yeah, that's what I would be talking about on Monday.
What am I going to be talking about on Monday, Vivek? I guess we'll have to wait and see till Monday.
Sounds like a good one.
Well, actually, I do no prep whatsoever. I just listen to the tone and listen to what the message that Vivek is trying to present, and then react to it the best way I know how, from experience or from whatever. So, thank you, Vivek, for creating your HOAs. I can't talk about the rest of the world, but I can talk for myself that they've been a great personal value to me. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to the gentleman who has been so patient. P for patient, and P for Preston. And patient, as you know, because I think you and I talked about it this week, patient is one of my 3 Ps of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely.
So tell us, you've got some really interesting, well, should I segue into it a little bit by saying that for the last couple weeks, you and I have just been having some conversations about customer relationship management and how technology can assist businesses with their customer relationship management strategy, and all businesses must have a customer relationship strategy, because our customers are our lifeblood, and we have to listen to our customers, and we have to respond to our customers, because that's our being, that's our raison d'etre. And I showed you, which I'm going to show right now. I didn't scan it so I could do a screen share, but this was an infographic that I created in 1994. 1994, and it was customer relationship management for the insurance industry. And the insurance industry, I created an infographic that had touch points, all the different times that an insurance company has the opportunity to touch a customer, and what happens in that touch point. Do you take the relationship with your customer forward, or just let it go by? How do you react to it? And it's amazing. Back in 1994, and I was doing a lot of work in the customer contact center world, the telephone world, where you would actually talk to the customer either inbound or outbound on the telephone. There was very little internet activity going on in that arena in 1994. And it was amazing to me, as Press and I were talking, as I went back to this thing that I did all those years ago, to see how appropriate the concept was today. And customer relationship management are some words that were created back in the early 90s. They're not novel. Customer, relationship, and then how do you manage that relationship? And so automation came into play. So that was the segue into to Preston and the conversation that we were having. Is that a good segue, Preston?
It's a good segue.
Okay.
Excuse me, I got to get rid of that frog. It is true. I mean, customer relationship management is everything for a business, and the thing is that there's so many other tools out there that you can utilize, and some of them are very good. Some of them, well, they need some improvement. But technology is that. I mean, you're always improving on some things, and I feel blessed because I was introduced to this business almost 3 years ago now. The owner and CEO, he had a very large business in the networking arena, and he couldn't manage it. I mean, he was able to manage it to a certain extent, but he had like 10 or 15 different programs he was using to manage all his contacts. And this guy is very well connected. His contact database is well over 1 million. And most systems out there do not hold 1 million contacts. And if they do, it's going to be very, very, very expensive. So he got together with a couple of people that were part of his inner circle, if you will. And luckily I was one of them. And we did some brainstorming sessions. And he says, I need to find something to work for myself, but I want to use it to be able to help you guys too. So if we can build a platform that can be able to perform everything that's out there in one area, would that be beneficial to you? And we're like, yeah, because you don't have to keep on signing up for other services. Once you add up all the costs, you're spending $200, maybe $300 a month on all this stuff, and it just gets confusing because none of it talks to each other. And so what he decided to do is basically build this from ground up. And he had the concept. We were doing a lot of brainstorming sessions on what we're using now, what we like, what we don't like, what would you like to see, all these things. We had about 100 business owners that got together on a regular basis and basically just threw out a whole bunch of ideas and concepts and things. So it has been quite a journey. For the first year, it was just more, okay, what did we kind of do? The second year, we actually beta launched our program, and we had some challenges. We worked with other company outside of the U.S., and they didn't understand the whole concept. They understand bits and pieces of it, but didn't understand the whole concept. And now he put everything together. He kind of fired that company, or he had a whole bunch of programs that he let go. But we learned a lot from that. And so now we have a full management system that actually has a contact management piece in there, which obviously is very important. Keeps track of your clients. It keeps track of your prospects. It keeps track of your notes. It keeps track of everything. It even shows you a map, if you will, of their area. So if you have their address in there, you know exactly where to go. You don't have to look it up. It's right in your database. The new versions coming out is where it's going to scrape the public information of each one of your contacts. So when you want to know something about someone, most of the time you're taking time to go into their website, going into their profiles to learn more. Well, this will be automatic. So as long as you have it in your contact database, it's automatically going to put it in there, and you can basically go to it and learn more about them. And obviously, the more you know about them, the more likely you'll do business with them, because you know some of the hot points, some things that are their interest, Then we also have the event management, which is very important, especially when you do webinars and those things. We have an online calendar, which is really very similar to Google, but we actually are integrating with Google, so you can actually upload everything from the Google Calendar into this calendar. And then we also have, obviously, a very important part of it is the marketing. We have a very unique concept called the PVAs. They're a private virtual assistant, and that will be automated very shortly here, so you can basically send a video to people who have their birthdays, have their anniversaries, whatever, that are in your database that you may not have time to go to each individually and set it up and wish them a happy birthday or thank them for being married for X amount of time. You'll also be able to import your own video, so it doesn't have to be, a video that is made by us and by some of the actors that we have. we also have a section for video email. Video email is kind of a new thing, but it's a way to communicate with your customers in a one-to-one fashion, and you can upload your video, and then you can have your brand all around that video. So it's not being lost by just sending them an email that's just text only. We have newsletters. You know, many people use Constant Contact and other ones. Well, the problem with those is they're expensive, number one, but they're really hard to understand, so we have all that in there. And then we, of course, have the advertising part of it, because we want to be able to help businesses to advertise their business, not only through our network, but other networks that we are hooking up with. And then the most important thing that we just launched is our SEM, which is search engine marketing. A lot of people are trying to figure out how to get, you know, better rankings and how to get things bringing in visits to their website. Well, we have a tool that we created that actually it's like a little media bar that you place onto your website. You share all the traffic with all our partners, and we got some nice partners and even nicer partners coming on board, and everybody shares the traffic and everybody gets benefit from it. So a lot of different things. Sorry for the whole explanation, but I'm trying to break this out into little pieces for YouTube so you can kind of see each part of it. But anybody who wants to can sign up for a free account. The whole thing is only $26 a month, so it's very affordable, and you can get a lot of value from it.
Well,
It sounds amazing.
So, yeah. Let me understand what you just said. First of all, why do you have to apologize for explaining something? Don't apologize for that.
Well, I don't want to, I don't want to be like self-promoting, but it's just there's a lot of things here.
No, you're allowed to self-promote. That was the purpose of today.
Okay.
Self-promote. You said that there's a free account, and if they choose to opt to the paid account, that's $27 a month.
Yeah, $26 a month, yeah.
$26 a month. Well, let me make a brief statement to that point. Probably about 5 years ago, I started to subscribe to an automated CRM solution. You and I have talked about it.
Yep.
And actually, they've grown to be maybe the largest in the industry. And back 5 years ago, as a small business owner, I was paying $500 a month, $499 a month for that service. And it was very hard for me to cost justify any kind of return on investment, other than the fact that because it was automated, I'd have to hire somebody to do those functions or do them myself. So, that's part of the thinking of that. But I don't see how anybody can go too far off at $26 a month.
Right.
Once again, not too difficult to get a return on investment with that.
No, and it is. We wanted to have a price point where everybody can afford it, that there was no barrier to entry, if you will. I mean, we had the free version for many, almost 2 years now, and just had people beta testing it, and I was really concerned about it because a lot of things weren't working right away, and I said, we need to get this done, and a lot of stuff was changed because I was interactive and some of the other people were interactive. So I think right now we have 180,000 members, if you will, that basically signed up, and a lot of them are becoming more active now because it's finally getting to the point where everything is working in conjunction like it was supposed to. And there's a whole version 2 coming out that will just blow your mind. I mean, I've seen previews of it, and I'm like, wow, there's nothing out there like this. So,
are you at liberty to discuss, Preston, some of those collaborative things that you and I were discussing privately this week that are happening between the different members of this whole thing that you're doing? Are you at liberty to discuss that or not?
Well, at certain points I can. Obviously, one of the biggest things right now is our booster bar, because it's working really well. We've had over 100 clients that have used it. It was kind of in a beta test period, and out of the 100 clients that we have, none of them have quit yet. It's a little bit higher package. It's $99 a month, but it works really well. Like I said, it's driving traffic. They can see it in their Google Analytics, and then what's happening is, they're looking at it and they're going, well, my site really sucks because it's not really there's no conversion in it. You get a lot of traffic to my site, but no conversion. So then we go in there and we basically fix their website too to make it more convertible, and a lot of people are really happy with those results. So that's what I can share with you. The new version, there's some things I can share with you. Like I said, the scraping of public information is going to go directly into your contact database, which is going to be nice. It's going to be automated. You don't have to push a button. It just basically does it by itself. There's going to be some text messaging and some other things that are going to be more campaign orientated, and you'll be able to track everything. The thing I like about this system is everything is basically tied to the contact record. So anything you do with that contact is basically seen in many different areas of the system in every module that we build out. So, and
well, I'm definitely going to sign up for a free account, because free sounds good to me now. And, actually, maybe based upon my experience of doing that, and then what I can show it is doing for me and my business, then we can come back and share that experience with the rest of the community.
Absolutely. And if you guys sign up, I will say this, don't sign up on the registration part. Sign up, if you scroll down to the bottom, there's $100 worth of advertising that you can get free. Now this is cost per impression, so it's not pay per click, but we do have that option available. But a cost per impression, we're giving you 50,000 impressions for only $20 in credit. So you can almost get 250,000 impressions for free. If you basically go there and sign that up for the $100 worth of free advertising. So.
Wow.
No, go back to Metallist.
So there's some value hopefully for everybody.
And then we've got 4 folks on this very panel.
Yeah.
If somebody finds out that they need to change the design of their website, any one of these 4 people can get into it and help you out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got a pretty good team. We got some major people from like Microsoft and some other people from Netflix and other people from Pixlr. I mean, the amount of talent we have in our company is pretty amazing. And we did not me personally, but the owner, who I know very well, he did a lot of headhunting in a lot of different major corporations. So a lot of people are really excited about what's going to go forward with this. I mean, it's been a long process. Believe me, it's not fun eating dirt for a couple of years, but now we can kind of see light at the end of the tunnel. So.
Well, what I'll do, Preston, I will set up an account, and I'll work with you to set up the account, and then the next time that we have a community meeting, which will probably be, well, it won't be next week, but sometime in the following week, we'll bring it back and do an update and see where we are, and we'll bring Nora and Jess back to see how tremendously successful their event was coming up this weekend. And I got to share some exciting news that when I move to my new location, I might have 5 times the upload bandwidth that I have today. How cool is that going to be, that you won't have to watch a pixelated video of me?
That's awesome.
It really is. My new address is going to have Fioptics capability, fiber, as opposed to copper, and so I'm really excited about that. Well, I want to thank each of you for taking time out of your schedules. Jess had to wake up extra early to get involved today because she's 3 hours behind.
I don't mind. I'm a morning person. Give me tea with or without butter in it, and I am a happy girl.
Yeah, and don't forget to put honey in your next batch of love.
That's
tea.
Right.
Don't forget to put honey there. And Nora and Jess, we'll collaborate with you to market the daylights out of your summit coming up this weekend, this coming weekend, and look forward to hearing back a progress report and all the great things that have happened. Preston, good luck to you, and as you launch the next phase of your business. I loved your analogy. What did you say? You've been eating dirt for 2 years now. Now it's time to move in a different direction. Is that what you said?
Yeah, yeah, because we've had a lot of challenges, so I haven't been compensated yet. Let's just say that.
Oh my
Living off
goodness.
the land.
Every entrepreneur who has not been properly compensated for all the time that they put into a specific endeavor, would you please raise your right hand? Jess is the only one that's been properly compensated.
Not all the time.
Oh, not all the time. Not all the time. Well, I think that's part of what it means to be an entrepreneur. You don't get compensated for all the great ideas that you have.
Agreed.
Just so you get compensated for the best ideas.
I'll take some of them, and they may not even be the best ideas. Somebody thought they were the best ideas, maybe not me. But you know, that's one of the cool things about collaboration is who knows, the right time, the right place, and a lot of intention to encourage.
Yeah, but Jess, you have a certain sparkle about you. It's that sparkle factor. And Vivek, best of luck as your HOA weekly program progresses, and there's no question it is progressing on a weekly basis. And I look forward to participating with you on Monday.
Thank you.
Okay, everybody, have a great weekend, and thank you for anybody who has taken your time to come and share with us today. As always, an HOA is available in a recorded fashion, and we try to make that recording as available to you as we possibly can. And we look forward to seeing you the next time, which may very well be the best time.